Welcome back to This Week in Crime, everybody. It's your boy, Steve Furey. I'm here with the mulleted madman himself,
Saul Trujillo.
We got Katie on the ones and twos.
What's up?
We're clouding live at the Comedy Store Studios. My man, Saul. How you doing?
Pretty good, man. In high spirits. Fucking out here having a good time. It's another day. I love it. How are you?
I'm great, man. Just visited Austin. Did it. Took the dive.
I was so afraid that, here's the thing, when you went to Austin, I was so afraid. I was like, his old boys are out there. Yeah. We're never seeing Steve again. He took a little hobo knapsack. He got on a train. He's like, I'm never coming back again, L.A.
I mean, if I didn't have my girlfriend here, honestly, if I didn't move her out from Phoenix like 2 years ago, I would be going there more than here.
Imagine that conversation. Hey.
Yeah, I can't do it.
I know you just moved from Arizona, but baby, another
Texas.
state.
I moved from Arizona to California. Now we're going to Texas.
Back to the heat where it's worse. I know you're from Arizona, but you're prepared with your skin.
Yeah, she would. That part she would like. So that one's a little problem, but I bought a ticket for the first week of every month until August. I'll be there.
Yeah, and bro, you'll miss California Mexican food if you move to Texas, dude.
I believe so. I think their food's not very good.
How much queso can you eat and be like, this is fine?
Did have the best torta I ever had in my life.
Don't fucking talk to me like that,
bro.
Don't come back to here.
It was crazy.
As a Californian, you want to go outside and talk about? We have to talk real quick, Katie. We have to have a conversation.
We got to sit out of here, go bust hands over tortas. Talk.
All right, tell me about your Texas torta.
It was incredible. It was a place who only did tortas.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It's called La Panchas in Austin, Texas. I did a long walk for it. Way too hot to walk in Texas, I will say that. So I came in this place just like dripping with sweat, consuming a torta. The bread was just so crazy. You know, like just any sandwich when you upgrade that bread.
Do they make their own bread, or I
think so.
Oh, get out of town.
Yeah.
There's nothing that ruins a torta that is just terrible bread. Yeah. Just stale bread they used from this morning, but everything else is good. But you just can't get past that vessel. So
yeah,
gross.
that bonilla bread, I think that's what it's called. Bolillo? Yeah. That stuff will turn on you quick.
It will after about a day.
Yeah, that thing will get to like a rock hard football in a second.
Which I think is one of the reasons why pozole, they serve it with bolillo, but it's best served with deo bolillo, because that shit you could just dip in bread. It'll just soak right back up into... Oh, I'm salivating off stale bread just thinking about it.
A little more structural integrity for the sauce.
Yeah, but like just that, the way the avocado, you get me started on fucking sandwiches, dude.
It was great, man. So I went to the mothership, pretty sick. It definitely seemed like someone took here and then kind of focused it in. And then...
it doesn't seem like that's exactly what went down.
It's 100%. I mean, the bar is called Mitzi's.
Joe's like, I hate California, but I still love the Comedy Store. And he was like, I'm going to make the T1000 version of the Comedy Store. I'm going to make Comedy Store 2.0.
I mean, I don't think he hates California. I think he hates California taxes.
Yeah, probably.
You know, if you made $400 million and you had to give like 40% of it to California.
I guess this is me just going like, what do you really need that $180 million for? I guess a principle, give it to him.
You could build a comedy club.
You can. You can build a comedy club. That's true.
That's true. That's fair. A perfect comedy club.
That's fair. Poor
for
argument.
You and your friends to go fuck around, or give it for Gavin Newsom to pay off his prostitutes.
Look at you coming in with
I'm
politics.
Back, baby.
I'm back, baby.
I'm going in.
Texas Steve on the prowl.
Yeah, I bought a bucket hat. It's 10 gallons. I will be wearing it. It was fun though, man. What are you going? I heard you're going to a little rock concert action.
Yeah, dude, I'm going to Sick New World. It's a little festival in Vegas with me and my wife. This will be determined on whether or not our marriage will, last, because we're going to our first concert together. It's vacation, so we'll see. I'll see how. I think she'll do well in the mosh pit. She's a big girl. She'll throw some elbows in. She'll help me if I fall. Help me, you big bitch. Put me on your shoulders.
That would be nice to you guys. It was like a Tweedledee and Tweedledum thing.
Yeah, Bruiser Bros out there.
You should dress up like Road Warriors.
Yeah. It's like if the two kids from the Mighty Ducks were fucking. Look at the Bruiser Bros go. Yeah. It's going to be Deftones, Incubus, System of a Down.
Incubus. That's fun.
I'm excited. It's like it's like if you're in your late to mid 30s and you're like, this is your rock concert. Yeah. And that's all it is.
It's definitely got that California Valley.
Yes. Cholos from Bakersfield
Yeah,
vibe.
Cholos from Bakersfield. Everyone's got like a beard and a backwards hat fitted.
I'm gonna see one Corn tattoo.
Corn's gonna be there?
No.
Oh, I was like,
but you know,
shit.
if you fuck with Corn, you're gonna be at this goddamn festival.
Yeah, for sure. And now, I heard something about Felipe. You had to say no to Felipe?
Yeah, this is how I know I love my wife. Is that Felipe, his manager, hit me up via email like, "Would you like to Esparza? Would you like to open for Felipe at like these 2 San Francisco dates? Great pay, great, gonna take care of you, stuff like that." And I go back. No, I love my wife. Wow. I had to. It was the one, that one thing you get.
Yeah.
Like, I promise I won't cancel unless it's like, big. And I'm not saying Felipe.
Isn't Felipe big?
Felipe's huge.
Because then you might get into that little crew.
But is Felipe like got to tell my wife like, hey, I got to open for this big comedian, and then I just can't. I can't.
I mean, I think you're making the right decision, relationship wise.
Career wise, I had a comic go, God damn, really?
Yeah, I would have said no.
You would have said no to
my wife.
Your wife, really?
Well, I remember the first time I was bringing Jordan to go see my family. I bought her tickets and all that stuff, and I got the Burt dates. It was more than 2 dates, but I told her no.
You told her no?
I bailed on her meeting my family so I could go with Burt.
Oh. I'm not going to do good at this industry.
I mean, you're doing fine right now. Also, though, there's also the thing of like, when you're not readily available, people like you more. So hopefully that works out.
You want to know what it is? It's my confidence in like, I like Felipe, and I feel like he's the type of dude I'm like, we could be friends for a while. But maybe that's my foolish optimism, because I was like, we were chilling, we were smoking, and this podcast. So I was like, oh, this was great.
Yeah,
we'll click up. So me saying no to a date, he'll be like, he might throw me something later, or he might even invite me out. So I didn't want to just say. I was confident that.
You could happen again.
Yeah, it could happen again, maybe. But if it doesn't, I understand. I get it.
Did you go like, hey, I'm really sorry.
100%.
I would love to do this again.
Yep.
Anything else, I'll do it.
Yeah. Yep. And I don't know if it's cockiness or confidence, but I just think it's more along the lines of like, I can't say no to her. I promise this has been happening. We planned this for a year.
Yeah.
When the
that makes sense.
When the tickets came out, they sold out in 10 minutes. They were $500 a piece.
Now, is this a festival? A couple days thing?
It's a day thing.
One day,
which is weird because there's like 30 bands.
Yeah.
And then the amount of 38-year-olds that are probably going to stay for half the day, they ain't going to make it to Deftones. Like, our feet hurt.
Well, I think you're going to be it's going to be in Old Vegas, right?
Yeah, it's definitely going to be at the old, it's like the convention center that they have in Vegas, which is in Old Vegas.
Oh, it's in the convention. Okay.
Or maybe it's not in the Old Vegas, but it's at the convention center.
It's at the convention center. Okay. Then I was going to say something else because I went to a Life is Beautiful there where they took over this whole like decrepit part of Old Vegas and make it all fancy for like a week. It's very interesting. So like the people who live there look like crackheads like in this hotel. And then you're like walking around with like girls with like pasties over their nipples and stuff.
They just put volunteer vests over the homeless people. No, he's fine.
This is art. Don't touch the art or talk to the art or give the art money.
The guy who just got done smoking crack was like, hand soap? Yeah, I'll take some hand soap.
So that'll be pretty good, man.
As bummed out as I was to say no to Felipe, I'm going to have a good time.
You're going to fly, right?
No, we're driving.
It's more expensive to drive.
No, we're going to like stop at stuff. I got one of those whimsical white women who like to go on adventures. She's like, we'll stop at this gem shop in Barstow. I'm like, sure. And I'll go, can I take edibles though to deal with all this horse shit? She goes, yeah, I don't care. Yeah. So it's just her pulling my high body to go look at rocks and pictures of dinosaurs.
Okay. I mean, you have to do it.
You have to.
It's like it's like maintaining the base of a relationship so that it can flourish. But man, that's a rough one. But I got a feeling you'll be able to come back.
It's a balance of things, man. I like to have a healthy relationship with my wife because then, saying no to stuff like opening for Felipe Esparza, in like the 2 weeks from then, I'm just in the East Coast. I'm gone for 13 days.
You're gonna be on the road for 13 days by yourself?
3. And then, I'm doing 4 days by myself, and then I'm going with 2 door guys, Willie Simon and Anthony Amorello, like a week later, East Coast date, flying back to LA, East Coast dates. I couldn't just stay on the East Coast.
Oh, you're coming back.
I'm coming back for 3 days and then flying right back to New York. I'm flying from LA to New York from the 1st to the 4th, and then like on the 8th, I'm flying back to New York. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a little rough, man.
I know my body's gonna hate me for it. It's just cheaper for me to fucking fly back than it is to set up dates and buy hotels and stuff.
Yeah, you got no friend there?
No, I haven't got no friend. I've never been to the East Coast. It's my first time. First time I've been to the East Coast.
It's pretty fun.
Is it?
Yeah, it's
you've
cool.
You've already recommended a pizza place to me.
The Industry BK, the best pizza in the world. It's been rated. I got it by everybody. Been rated. If there's anything, you go to New York. And I've done all the things. I've not done all the things in New York. I've done a lot of the poor people, nice food places. You know, like things that we can afford.
Yeah,
that's the best.
You've never spoken so highly about a place because you don't go. You go. Oh, you should try this. You go. You have to go.
Yes,
to Industry BK because it seems like an urgent. You didn't tell me like it was like a recommendation, like it was a mission of mine.
Yeah. It's like the world will end unless you eat 3 of these slices of pizza on a Tuesday at noon.
Look at here, 00 Fatso. Your mission is to get a margarita slice. Like, yeah, all right, it's Steve. I got it.
It's good, man.
But I'm excited, man. So staying busy, going to a rock concert. I'm saying no to Felipe. I'm not excited about that part. But
that part's crazy. That part's but you got to do it, man.
Yeah, that part sucks.
So I did a weird show, did a casino show.
Yeah.
You know, we done casinos. Casino shows are fun because there's no, like, you don't have to promote or do anything. It's all on them.
Yeah.
You're going to get paid the same if you sell it out or not. And so I went and did a show for maybe 50 people in a 350-seat room.
That sounds like horseshit.
Yeah, that sucked.
And because it's not just 50 comedy people.
No.
It's 50 casino folk.
Yes, great point. They don't want to be there. They're just trying to, think about how they're going to tell their wife they lost another 20 grand, so they're going to come here and try and cool off. It was hard. And plus, then you got a headline, like I can do 20 in front of anybody.
Yeah, 20 in front of anybody. You could breeze through 20.
Yes.
Through 20 is fine.
45, that's like a job. And then it's like a hard job when you got to do it in front of 50 people that don't give a flying fuck and are old.
What's the that goes without saying, yeah, Steve. As soon as you said Palm Springs, I'm like, old. Yeah. Casino, old. Golly. Just a sea of silver perms.
Yeah, silverbacks. It was crazy.
What's that what's the least amount of people you've had to do 45 minutes to an hour for? I'll start with. I'll go.
Yeah, you can go first
6.
on that one.
It was 6 people at a bar show, and it was.
How much were you paid for this?
Oh, you know me, Steve. I don't have a budget. Look at me right now, camera. If you're trying to get somebody on a budget for free, I used to get yelled at by older headliners like, "Why do you charge like for a pack of bubble gum for 45 minutes?" And I go, "Because I don't know any better." This year was the first year I've had to do. You've encouraged me to do like you gotta have something because you can't just go out to Fresno for $150. I told that Reading casino no.
Yeah.
And that's like $400 plus you got to chop off the feature. You're making no money.
And the drive is 9 hours.
Is horrendous.
Horrendous.
Yeah.
You're evolving, and it's more like you don't even think about it like I'm saying no to a gig. It's that I'm saying no to something that could be better than this.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, is driving 16 hours for $300 worth it on my car? Is it worth it on my body? No.
Yeah. You come about it in the most logical sense versus the old school mentality of like anywhere, wherever, for whatever amount of money. But it's 100%. Like, nah, man, I'm trying to be long. I'm trying not to pick up vices along the way because the drive sucks.
Just start picking up heroin.
Yeah. Like heroin sounds nice because of this 9-hour drive I got to do for no money.
And I heard you did a little Cinco de Mayo show that went well at the Bellflower Club.
Bellflower at the stand-up comedy club in Bellflower, dude. It was weird, bro. It was the first time I've ever had a line of people waiting to take pictures with me.
Wow. I've never had that. How was it?
I was like, what the fuck? It was weird, bro. As soon as I think the line was done, they go, no, us too. I'm like, what is happening, brother?
You got to get a merch now. If people want to do that, you got to do a little merch action.
Yeah. No, it was fun. I appreciate everybody who came out. And it was just like people, like Mexicans.
Yeah.
Like my crowd. I you get a little in your own head when you hang around too much industry, or you don't really hang around enough Mexicans to like, man, oh yeah, these are where my people are at. I forgot, you know.
Well, I can see all the people that like your stuff and comment on our videos and everything. It's a heavy Mexican crowd,
which I'm all about.
Which is good.
It's what I grew up with, and then you kind of get away from it when you get integrated into schools. And then like when you come out to LA, I didn't start in the Mexican scene. I started in the club scene out here when I was out here. So I'm barely starting to do Mexican shows, but the fact that the Mexicans came out was
pretty
dude,
fucking
it meant
cool,
a lot, man. It was great. It was fantastic. Yeah, I appreciate that.
All right, we got our next guest here. You know him, you love him. Please give a big round of applause for Jason Ellis. Jason, thanks for coming in, brother.
Thanks for having me, man.
We're going to bang off right now, starting off with a banger. Father throws hands with middle school kids.
Yeah.
Something we've always wanted to do. The parent of a Del H. Robinson middle school student is facing charges including child abuse and battery for allegedly taking part in a fight that involved his son and another student. 39-year-old Jose Montez turned himself in. I mean, this is a dream for everybody, right? To like if it's legal, would you ever want to fight?
Oh, yeah. One time my kid got jumped.
Okay.
And they put it up on Snapchat.
What?
So I saw it, and I wanted to beat those 4 kids.
Yes.
But obviously...
You could just show up looking like you, and then they beat themselves up.
I was thinking about beating their dads up.
That one's fair, you know?
But then I would go to jail.
True.
Yeah, that's how that works.
I put a damper on that, you know, on that whole plan. And I think it's better to be like a monk and to like let things like that go. I'm not saying I can achieve that, but I have heard of this wisdom.
In theory, it's better.
I think that is the winner. If you can choose that, it's just, can you choose it?
I know. I like the idea of like having you want to fight a grown up, but you have to like be civil. Be like, hey, would you mind like meeting me on Thursday at like Starbucks and we can throw fists real quick, and you can just sign this waiver so I can beat your ass.
What if that bully's a really big kid and the dad's not very big?
That's going to be a question a little bit later here. I mean, right now, let's answer the age-old question. How many 5th graders do you think you could take?
Oh, wow. That's a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Oh, for you? It's about a baker's dozen for me, then I gas out.
12? That's a lot.
13, my friend.
5?
5?
Wait, how old are they?
5th grade. So
Wait, how old's that?
12?
Right. I've got a 14-year-old, so...
How many of them you think you could beat up?
Probably 20. But I think realistically, if it was a real fight and they weren't like robots, they were actual like, children, I think I could kill like 1,000.
Yeah, you're right.
They'd be terrified by watching me what I'm doing to the other 20 and knowing that is coming for them. Like I don't see one of them running in and going, let's take this guy. Like I feel like they'd all be running and scratching at the walls, and I could just go over and pick one off at a time and be like, snap, snap, just shut up.
I would emotionally damage like 7 of them right away, but the homophobic ones, I just call them gay because they'd be weird about it.
Misgender them.
They'd be weird about it.
Fucking breakdown. The fight occurred close to the school, and police were made aware of it the following day. Videos of the fight, which have been circling on social media, show a man identified as Montez in the middle of a fight surrounded by numerous students, punching them in the face.
Well, they were all jumping him.
They were jumping his son. So essentially, he pulls up, sees his kid getting beat by 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah.
Kids.
I'm in, dude.
I know.
At that point, they're guys. They're not kids.
Yeah, I agree. I think if an adult comes in and jumps in and you start throwing at the adult, it's on.
Okay,
it's
I like that.
Fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you would...
Like, what am I going to do? Let like 20 15-year-olds kick me in the face? That still does damage.
Yeah.
I had to defend my son by stabbing this 13-year-old in the head.
Yeah, that might be.
I think what you got to do is you got to set up your phone like a TikTok dancer would do. Put the fight there, go up there, stand in the middle, wait for one guy to punch you, and then you just lay wake.
Is it self-defense to punch if a 15-year-old punches you and you punch him?
Yeah, I believe so.
I feel like it's a woman thing that's never acceptable.
I think it's acceptable.
Yeah, I think it's acceptable.
It's got to be.
I think if a woman is like beating up a man and the man punches the lady to get her off, that's not that bad.
I would say it wouldn't, but I think most people would say under any circumstance you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Where's the equality in that?
Yeah.
I know. Well, I can't punch. I don't punch. Man, this sounds bad. I don't punch weaker people. So if
That's
you're
fair.
if you're a big lady, you know, like if you were like a pro, like Amanda
Leslie Jones.
If Amanda Nunes was like, I've always hated your show, Jason. There could only be one real gay fighter, and it's me. And I'm like, wait, I thought we could be together, you know? And she's like, no, I will. No, I'm gonna smash your face in. And now Amanda Nunes is like punching me in the face.
You got to take it, Jason.
I feel like I got to throw back, right?
I think there's a level of like trained fighter. I don't know.
Amanda Nunes would
Beat she'd snap my
I think
arms
if it was
and
a real
legs.
fight, I think she beat me.
Plus,
Probably she's like a master of jiu-jitsu
if you know
and stuff.
martial arts, I believe that you're legally like your skill can be used as a deadly weapon.
Yeah, he's right. I got told that.
So-
Even if it's self-defense, I got told that because I used to say, like, what do I need to do to be in the right? And it's like if someone punches you once or twice, then you can defend yourself. But if you're a pro fighter and somebody punches you once or twice and then you wreck shop,
Yeah,
it's your fault. You're going to get charged.
it's like Con Air. Remember that?
Yeah,
Right.
It is.
That's how I feel.
He was a good guy, but he had to beat up those guys to protect his family. He ended up going.
He
on a
didn't
fucking-
have to push his nose into his brain though.
No, he did fucking murder a couple guys.
You know what I mean? He could have knocked one out, you know what I mean? Like sweep the leg on the guy, but he went for the death blow.
I just picture you doing that to like 12-year-olds. Snapping.
See what I mean though? One death shot on a 12-year-old and then the other 12-year-olds see that you're throwing death
Yeah.
shots at 12-year-olds. No
Which is-
one's coming in.
Just a regular punch for you, I think, on a 12-year-old.
Well, this is, just for the record, this is not actually real. Like that's not a thing that actually happens in the real world. You didn't know that?
No, I always was like, I got to close my hands. I don't want to accidentally shove a nose
your
into a
brain,
brain.
your nose doesn't go into your brain and kill you. Believe it or not, Bruce Willis fans, it's not true and it doesn't work. It just breaks your nose, maybe.
Okay,
So
good enough.
it's not a death blow.
The charges he is facing are child abuse, neglect, coercion with threat of force by an adult, contributing to the delinquency, neglect of a minor, interfering with a student from attending school, and battery. You know.
It's just the way of the world these days. They always add stuff because there's lawyers and money and stuff. It's like, it's battery.
Yeah, it's also like jaywalking and fighting without a license.
Yeah.
There's a new law in California. A new law in California requires the state to pay $140 every day spent behind bars once a citizen is found not guilty of a crime they were wrongfully imprisoned for. 2 men were just released after 17 years, and the state owes them $900,000 each. That's around $53K a year.
It's a little too big of an oopsie daisy for you to give them like what a state worker makes.
Yeah, that's a low-end state worker.
That's a low-end state worker.
You're saying they should have got more.
I think they should get more. If you're wrongfully accused, you should get more than $50K a year.
Especially if you've been through emotionally, you're like, you're gonna have to give me $25 million.
Yeah.
I was in jail. I didn't do
I was in
anything.
prison for 17 years.
It seems like a bit of like there should be an inflation thing. Like that seems like in the 70s you got 9. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you should be these days. It should be like
$1 a year, maybe.
man, a mill's
Okay, true.
$250,000.
$250,000 a year.
$250,000 a year for being in prison. Because
Yeah.
I would do that if I owed $250,000 and I could do a year and pay it off without like doing the tax penalty thing. Because I've done that a couple of times.
Yeah.
I would just do a year.
But
A year?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not up to anything
well,
much.
to be the thing about that is like you're in prison, right? Let's say you're not guilty. You're just like me. And then you got to do things in prison to survive in prison. Now you are this person.
Yeah, because it's like the culture. You don't get to just be isolated for a year.
Oh, I thought I was just gonna be hanging out like
Like fun. Federal prison, some
like
cool.
watching TV and stuff.
As soon as you go in there looking like you would immediately have to join the
white
supremacists.
Yeah.
Right, which is, I guess, sure. I mean, I'm getting butt fucked for sure, right?
Well, I mean, from what I heard, you just got to. I've talked with our friend George.
Like, does it
Perez
matter
about
if
this
I
quite a
want to
bit.
get butt fucked? Can you rape me?
No.
So I'm
You're just like dropping soap like fucking Johnny Appleseed
Yeah, I'm
around
just-
the prison.
Yeah, man.
trying to figure out a way to survive. I
You-
don't want to fight my way through a year.
Live your prison the way you want it. Some people get butt fucked. Some people do the butt fucking.
Maybe I could dress as a lady and be like somebody's bitch.
This is getting worse and worse. For 250, it's 250K. This is it.
That doesn't seem that bad to me.
He's like, I think I'm just gonna go to prison straight up.
Let's see what it's like on the other side, man.
Got anything?
No, I'm just it was just
Yeah,
shitty.
it's just not enough. I mean, it should be a minimum 100, but just like, I mean, you come out with 900K after 17 years.
It's crazy that it's the same amount for all those years.
Yeah,
Like it should have gone up with
Inflation.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's just the amount of like, what did they get not guilty? You know, what were they accused of?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
Did they have a record? Were they bad people? Because I always think that bad people get put in that situation. Like if you're not doing anything bad, it's pretty hard to be in there completely innocent.
Yeah, and there's a big difference between like
I could be wrong.
Yeah, being found not guilty for selling drugs or being found not guilty for murder.
Like the hurricane, he didn't do nothing.
True.
Yeah,
But that's pretty rare.
100%.
I definitely believe that is pretty rare, but I think there are a few people in there. But the way people like try and say like a lot, I just love how people are like trying to make people in jail seem a lot less horrifically terrifying.
I've got a friend who's in prison and he doesn't mind it, but he's crazy and he's a ex-pro fighter, so he can probably beat up the whole prison hand to hand.
Yeah.
So everybody loves him. That's what he told me anyway. He seemed like it was great. He went back. He liked it so much.
I talked to George Perez about it a lot, and he says he has a buddy who's in and out all the time, high ranking in some organization, and he goes, when you're in there, it's kind of nice because you got a feeling of a community. So he goes, like the Mexican mafia in there will wake up at 5 a.m. and like the main guy will yell out in the jail cells like,
I was there for this. Yeah. Go ahead.
"Oh, you were there?"
Yeah. He was talking about
Then he goes, he's like, let me get ready something. Everyone go, "Huh," and he's calling out push-ups so that everyone else in the prison knows that these guys in this group get up earlier than you and they're already working out.
It's like Cholo Spartans.
Yeah, like Cholo Spartans.
Nice.
So he goes, when you're in there, it seems pretty cool and people get sober, but still,
I would get fucked over because you're supposed to wake up at 5 a.m. to like do push-ups and shit. Like I would get stabbed so many. I'm like, let me wake up at 7.
I haven't been sleeping. Is there any way I can push this back?
Yeah, that's terrifying. So you got to be in jail with that. Like, say I'm found not guilty, or I'm found guilty of something. Now I gotta wake up at 5 a.m. to do fucking push-ups with these cholos.
That's worse than jail.
It's
I
worse
can't
than
believe
jail.
you're freaking out on push-ups. What about the whole raping and being in the Nazis and stuff?
Well, that's you being in the Nazis. I'd have to be, apparently, because of this haircut, I wouldn't be Soreño. I would be put in with the blacks and norteños, which is very small.
What?
Yeah. It gets separated like that.
What'd you say, Sorrentos?
Sureños are Southern Mexicans. That's the gang. Norteños are Northern Mexicans. They don't like each other.
And this is
And why
apparently
did you-
a
California.
North haircut.
Couldn't you just cut your hair before you went in?
No, I'm
You'd
gonna keep
probably
it.
be North anyway.
Yeah, they'd be North right away.
Stockton and-
The way I talk, they'd be like, there's no way this fucking cartoon character's a goddamn LA
okay.
Mexican.
Yeah, they don't like each other. All right, this next one. So we have this good guy to get in here. Some LGBTQ stuff. This
we
one,
go.
I think they may have gone a little far. Have you heard of trans-ableism?
Yeah, no. That's not... I don't know.
We'll get into it. Trans-ableism is a newer term for BID, or body integrity identity disorder, in which a person actually identifies as a handicap. BID has been relabeled as trans-ableism to align with today's trans community, according to some.
Okay, you can Google that to see if it's real, right?
No, there's people. I looked up multiple people. One guy blinded himself because he thought he was blind. He
Yeah.
wanted to be blind.
Yeah.
There's people cutting off limbs.
Yeah, but cutting off limbs has been around for a while. I've got friends that do it.
He's got a friend who cut off his limb.
It's like, yeah, and chicks that are super into stumpy guys. I got a friend that is so hot. Like, she's the hottest chick ever. And I went to the desert with her, with my wife and her, and had RV, and we were going to do a bunch of stuff. And then she cut out halfway through because she met a stumpy guy. And that stumpy guy was the biggest loser ever. Like, just so lame. He had a piece of shit can dirt bike. And he was out there sleeping in a tent, broke as shit. And she was in the tent boning this one-legged guy, like, for 2 days. She couldn't get enough of him. And then I heard my chick and her, like, dribbling on about stumpy guys. And then I realized, like, not all girls, but, like, girls that are, like, dark, and usually good in bed, like stumpy guys.
That sounds like a kink more than it is trans.
That's what I'm saying. It's not you. See, that's what I don't like this because I got friends that are all types, and like, you know, they want to be called them, they, or they want to be she, her, whatever it is, and it means a lot to them, and it makes them happy that you do that, regardless of what they look like to you. So I do that, and I don't like it when people don't do it. And I know I'm in the comedy world, and it's like this new thing to make fun of those people, but I just think it's like weak. They need help, and you're kicking them while they're down. And when people add this stuff, like, you know, somebody who's got a mental disorder is like, I blinded myself because I see myself as a blind person, and then you tie it into the trans, gay, lesbian community, and it makes us look bad.
Yeah,
because
you're watering down the message.
We're not. That's not what we're about. It's a sexual preference. What are you talking about when you want to be blind? Don't put us in with us. It's like skateboarders have cool shoes. Sketchers think that they're cool, but they're not, and don't ever put Sketchers with us. We will not. We're not the same.
Trans
no offense to
ableism
Skechers.
are the Skechers of human beings.
That's all I'm saying.
It could just be ableism. You don't have to add the word trans in front of it.
No,
You cut the
tying
trans
it
part
into
out.
it's like, the Bud Light, like, just leave us alone. I don't want to be a part of it.
But the Bud Light thing was just like one ad.
Yeah,
they were like,
one
she was
TikTok
like,
person said one
it
thing.
wasn't even an ad.
it was
how do
like,
you-
it was like
that
a
guy,
story.
that girl is annoying. Like, I don't like that trans girl. Like, I don't care what she's got between her legs. She sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And if you gave her a can, I don't like give her a burger, give her a McDonald's sandwich. I don't care. Like, you suck too. Bud Light sucks.
Yeah, Bud
it's
Light
a
sucks.
giant
It's
$1 million
chick sucks.
corporation of shitheads.
Yeah.
I'm loyal to them. Like, what is? They suck balls.
Also, the funny thing about that one is like I always think about like imagine if you're her, because we're all not creators, but we're all like artists, and Bud Light comes to you and goes, "Hey, we want to give you $20,000 to drink this beer." You're like, "This is the best day of my career,
100%.
And then the next day, the whole world just comes around you, and it's like, golly,
Man, I don't even drink, and I would totally slam a Bud Light for 20 grand.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course. That's the incentive at that point.
Do it
Come
for
on.
free. Okay, so back on trans ableism.
Yeah.
Speaking of it, what handicap would you choose?
Of this ableism. Let's take trans out of it.
Toes and fingers don't count, right? You got to go a full limb.
Now this could be, it doesn't have to be like I want to keep living my life. This could just be like, what handicap do you think?
I've always
doesn't
wanted a
look the
baby's
worst?
arm attached to my taint so that I could do extra while I'm doing extra.
Is it all limpy dimpy, or is it like you got it like a scorpion tail?
It grabs stuff.
Oh,
You got a little
shit.
scorpion tail under your tent.
Yeah,
under your
they're
taint?
like you mean I can grab onto your balls?
A little alien mouth coming up from the butthole.
Yeah. It's like Jason. Wasn't it? What was that? Wasn't that? There was a movie where Jason Alexander had a tail.
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, he wiggled it around.
But a hand.
That would be wild but to just show
Can I
that
have,
to someone,
Can I have no head? I'll
Oh,
die,
interesting.
right?
or just your head in
But
your
can
chest.
I have no head and have like a helmet for a head, like a digital helmet? And I'm like, oh man, I am still me.
Yeah, like a fucking
But this
DJ.
is all, yeah.
You're like a Swedish DJ.
So then my face would never get old.
That's fun.
It's
Like
your
Darth
ableism.
Vader, I've always thought about having, remember the Flash Gordon, bring me the boar worms. Remember that guy? He had a
bit.
gold face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking like getting older and getting uglier, like get to a point where instead of revealing how hideous you are, have a gold mask on and just wear like cool shit, but I always have the gold mask on. So as long as my body stays in reasonable shape and I can move around still, it's like, oh, it's Goldface, you know what I mean? And I'm always
Yeah.
out there getting bottle service. Bring me the ball worms.
Jason ages into being a supervillain.
Yes.
Which one was that? It's
Because you're still going to get laid, dude. If you're a supervillain
Yeah.
and they don't know how hideous your face is, think about how many people would suck off Darth Vader and think about how hideous Darth Vader is without his helmet.
Now I'm just thinking of someone getting sucked off with a Darth Vader helmet on.
That's happened for sure. You could
100%
find that
that's
pretty easy.
happened.
Wasn't that Revenge of the Nerds?
All right, the point of changing the identifier from a psychiatric condition, BIID, to an advocacy term, trans ableism, is to harness the stunning cultural power of gender ideology to cause of allowing doctors to treat BID patients by amputating healthy limbs, snipping spinal cords, or destroying eyesight, according to the Evolution News and Science Today.
It really is more of a... Because the tattoo community has scarification and all that
and
stuff.
morphing and like body modification.
And I've hung out with a guy that I had a girlfriend of mine got one of her labias cut off because she had a bigger one than the other side.
What?
And I helped. Like I was watching him do it because they did it at like somebody's house. This guy does stuff at his house. He cut a logo into me for one of my podcasts. I didn't realize what I was getting into until it was already started, and I was like, "Oh, this feels disgusting." But they cut like flat, and then I cooked it, and my dog and my wife ate me. Just got a little bit of cat.
When you said I helped, I thought you cut off her labia like an umbilical cord.
No, he cut it. He drew like with a marker on it where he was going to cut, and then like held it, and then and cut that bit off, and then put it in a little jar and gave it to her.
Was there a
Wear it around
particular
her neck?
reason why they wanted to eat
Oh
it?
yeah, it was crooked. Well, now her vag is even,
Yeah.
symmetrical. So she pulled it off. It looks way better than it did. It healed. Looks fine. You wouldn't know that it was cut off by a scalpel in some dude's.
What did you salt and pepper yourself
What's that
before
mean?
you ate it? Salt and pepper,
Oh,
S&P?
no. Oh, when I ate me? Nah. I only ate a little bit of me because there wasn't that much of me to go around.
Mm-hmm.
My wife really wanted to eat me.
Just a little nibble.
Ex-wife, whatever.
Just
It's pretty fucking
But
intense.
I think it's that because I know that those guys, they tattoo their eyeballs. They want to have like the lizard guy who cut fingers off so that he has like weird web looking things, and he like
Teeth are all
ears
scarred.
are off, and like all kinds
I've
of
seen
like.
that guy.
That's more of a.
Okay, but see, the thing about that is that's more of like
That's got
personally.
nothing to do with sex.
Yeah, it's nothing to do with sex. This right here is like someone cutting their leg off, and now you got to give them disability benefits because they choose to do
That's
so.
not cool.
They got a handicap placard now. That's fucking weird.
Didn't even think about
I don't
that
know.
one.
I don't want to. Yeah, benefits is it's going too far, but I would let them have that parking spot thing.
You
If they
would?
if they cut their leg off, yeah.
It would have to be a different placard.
Not an
for me.
arm. If you have one arm, you don't deserve to have a handicap parking spot.
You're at least not. The logo should
How
be
many of
different.
us have got out of the,
It's just
It shouldn't be the little wheelchair. It should be a leg getting cut
How
off.
many of
like-
us have got out of the car on the phone?
true.
Like, that's not impressive.
Okay, here you go. Do you if you get blinded,
Yeah.
like you put it to yourself,
Yeah.
so fucking weird. This is the weirdest one we've ever had. Are you a blind person?
Well, yes.
Yeah.
How are you not if you can't see? You're fully blind.
Imagine
You're also a moron.
going to learning Braille while you could see. You're like, I got to figure this out now.
What about if you did it to heighten your senses so you could be like Daredevil and you can like see things coming with your mind?
But
And
I
then
could.
you're like, fuck, that didn't work. Now I'm just blind.
Right, now you're just sad and hanging out with like your weird leather suit on. You can't fight any crime at all. You don't know where the crime
Just
is.
stuck in your house.
Let's fight when it rains. You don't want to. You don't want to see me when it rains,
That's when
motherfucker.
That's when he peeks.
Just imagine, like, I want to wear eye patches, but I don't want to be fake about it. It's like, you're a fucking bitch, dude. Get out of here.
All right, on to the next one. False kidnapping report gets TikToker in trouble.
Good.
Get them all in trouble. Former Sonoma resident Katie Sorensen is scheduled to be sentenced June 14th after being convicted Wednesday of filing a false police report when she claimed a Petaluma couple tried to kidnap her children in December of 2020. So essentially, this woman blamed this couple, the Martinezes, for stealing, kidnapping her kid. They never did that. And she just wanted to go on TikTok to blow up her TikTok.
That's crazy.
Wait, the kid's home,
the
it was
kids,
never
there
left.
was never a kidnapping. It was clout chasing.
but the kid is in on it.
No, it was like a child. Like a
Oh,
5,
okay,
6
little
year old.
baby. Okay, so the baby's not.
It's just a
It's just
sad
one lady
woman.
that made this crazy. Did the couple get like put in jail? Like, were they in trouble?
So they get in trouble. Sorensen faces up to 6 months in jail after jurors found her guilty of one misdemeanor count of making a false report of a crime. She was acquitted of 2 similar charges. Sorensen told Petaluma police a couple later identified as Eddie and Sadie Martinez tried to kidnap her children.
We should torture people.
I think this one's good. I think you can bring it back.
On, you know what I mean, on TV? Because if you watch the morning news, it's really bad.
Yeah.
Like, they're desperate for any kind of stuff.
A nice
like,
torturing would be.
Like, I'm not saying like cut her jugular or anything. Like, don't set her on fire like
lashings.
a witch.
Bring
yeah, like
lashings back.
lashings or like, let's cut her arm off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Disabled. Put them together.
For real.
Like, there's 4 bad people there, and you cut off all of one arm each, and you sew the other arm onto the other person.
Yeah.
So it's like 4 bad arms
Yeah.
reattached to 4 bad people.
Well, here's a
Live.
question. Here's a question. Would you rather have 4 other people's arms sewn on your body or lose your arms?
I'd rather be a spider person.
I-
You just
yeah.
described. I'd
Yeah.
rather just
Like the
be a
Mortal
spider.
Kombat guy?
It's like his arm.
As long
taint
as you're
thing.
not blind, you could probably fight crime with that.
I want the baby hands all over my body. The one he was talking about his taint earlier, but all over my body.
What about give them the gay?
You inject them with gay?
Yes, that's how I got it. I got a prick, and all of a sudden I'm like, wow, that guy's hot.
It's like the death penalty, but with gay serum inside.
No, you make him like suck a guy off,
Oh,
and then a guy gets hard, and then he butt fucks him on the news.
That's a rape.
So everybody
Jason.
knows that Jimmy, that bitch that fucking made
Katie.
up that stuff. She's a girl. Makes it harder.
Yeah,
Lesbians
eating pussy out.
If
Eating
if a-
pussy doesn't seem like that
if a
bad of
crazy
thing.
butch lesbian like gives a straight lady a good going over, is she Like, does she have to take drugs to recover from that? Like, does she feel suicidal? Does she need therapy because she's like, I keep seeing flashes of this hideous.
I feel like
I love
true
these.
rape is
You're
like.
a lady, right?
I feel like okay,
Sorry,
let her
am I
know.
allowed to?
Definitely on the show, whatever she wants.
If a big butch lady gave you a good going, like, you know, finger blast and was like licking you and doing like, you know, been the most vulgar lesbian sex you can imagine. I'm assuming you don't like lesbian sex.
Correct. Yes.
Right. So that happens, and she's like, "Now get out of here, you filthy animal!" and throws $1 at you. Do you need to go to therapy? Like, are you suicidal, or do you think you can be like, guys, the craziest thing happened to me the other day, and then you move on with your life?
I probably would say it was crazy.
Yeah.
Be like, that was fucking nuts. I might be traumatized, but you know, I could probably
Soldier on, right?
Yeah, I probably would.
Like, you would have another boyfriend and continue dating. Like, yeah.
think
See,
I hate lesbians.
I think
Steve,
it's penetration. That's what gets you. You know,
well, okay. I just
like if a dude blew you.
I just
blew
hooked up
me,
with a lesbian that has a huge clit, and he says he fucks his girlfriend with it. So he could definitely bone her with his big clit, and he's very jacked too. He lifts weights all the time, so you wouldn't be able to escape. He would have you locked,
Yeah.
and he would have his way. After it, she would be fine. But if I butt fucked you,
That'd be a
you
lot
would
worse.
be bummed.
I would be bummed.
You would be
ruin
sad
my
about
day.
it.
It would ruin more than your day, Steve. You would have a couple of bad days.
Couple of sad showers. You know?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like,
couple
I don't
of-
think she'd have what? She'd have one. What? What do you think? How many sad showers would you?
Well, I
do?
mean, if she was raped by the
Three.
clit,
You'd have three.
Maybe.
Right. Steve, you would have 3,000.
yeah, I'm living in a bath.
Right. A bath of your own tears.
yeah. That you started with your tears.
Police conduct. Oh, okay. We'll end with this.
Sorry.
No, it's great. And then we're gonna do one more episode after this, if you don't mind. Police conducted a third interview December 14th after Sorensen discussed the matter in an Instagram video that went viral, attracting millions of views and thousands of followers. Investigators said Sorensen claimed in her video, but not during this December 7th interviews, a man tried to grab her son's baby stroller. So her stories are falling apart, and she's blaming this couple. Records show she was more confident December 14th that the kidnapping had occurred. Investigators showed a surveillance photo of the Martinez, and she said that they were the couple from Michael's that tried to steal her kid.
Man, is that worse than rape accusation?
Some people would probably assume it's worse than a rape
Right?
accusation.
Like, if you go to jail and people are like, this couple stole a kid, a baby, like, they're gonna.
I think they're both. If you rape somebody and the other rapists are in the same thing as child molesters, I believe.
Right. So somebody's gonna kill you in jail, and you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They deserved. Man, I don't want to do it because I'm obviously, you know, what I mean, I'm trying to be a Buddhist right now for like the last 15 minutes. I saw something on Instagram before I came.
Yeah,
here.
monks are heading
That
up
was a
lot
really good
today.
one too. Got me. But yeah, I think we should kill them. We should kill her.
I love your dystopian world laws.
Yeah, it's very
Live rapes, live
It's very.
killings.
What's the desert guy?
Yeah.
I don't think people realize how bad it is to be raped.
True.
You know, it's pretty bad. I've been raped. It's pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah, a couple times actually.
By men?
Yeah, and I've got a bathtub at home full of my own tears, dude.
I just left right now. I'm damned. I'm waiting to get back.
I just washed myself in the bath of tears before I came here to tell you that it is very bad.
I
And
get in
think
that
if we had it
bathtub.
on video,
Yeah.
and you watched this rapist be raped, you'd be like, "Wow, this is brutal."
Yeah, I think I would.
Right.
That the minimum I would
We
say
should
this
stop
is brutal.
this.
I also think, people making false claims
Yep.
should get the same punishment as someone who did the crime.
Agreed.
Which is exactly why the amount of money that those people got for 65,
Yeah.
900,000 should be way more.
Yeah.
It should be way more.
Right, because they probably
All
did,
the
right?
rape that
for
you're
that amount of
talking
time. At least a couple. They got at least a couple of forceful.
I mean, and then everyone
Jacks.
thought this couple stole this kid, so you know what I mean? For how long that is.
And then you got to think about the way the news is. People care about the first accusation, and when you get cleared, people don't care as much.
They don't give a shit.
You know, like they just still see you as the guy and the girl that stole the
news
baby.
never talks about the
Right.
shit getting cleared. They only
That's-
talk about your
The
thing.
San Diego, I believe it's the San Diego State punter that got accused by rape.
yeah.
He just got acquitted.
Yeah.
But he just got kicked out of the NFL because he's a parent rapist. What are they going to do with that chick who falsely accused him of rape?
Yeah, you go to jail.
Go to jail. Something.
Killer, maybe. I mean, there's a lot of people.
He's very Mad Max.
I'm
He's
setting
like,
it up.
chuck her
I
off
just
a
go
cliff.
put her to jail to see what Jason
It
says.
feels like there's a lot of bad people out there lately, and I feel like everyone thinks they can get away with everything. I'm not saying we should kill everybody forever, but right now, I think if you do something really heavy, we should kill you on television. Because I'm sick of it.
Yeah, I'm down to do that to politicians too. I think we should kill every top politician so that the next guy coming in now knows that we're not fucking around anymore. And they got to start doing stuff for the people, not themselves.
Yeah, if you get caught not doing it for the people, live raping or murder, it's your choice.
Wow, that's a great choice.
Yeah.
Would you rather be raped or murdered? I guess rape, but
Yeah, I would go.
Yeah, but the surprise is
Rape.
who does it. Because whenever you choose rape, it's a guy that rapes you to death.
oh, that's a good one.
Can't rape me
There's
to
like a
death.
spin.
Like Horse Jackson or something, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, he's just got to...
What if you survive it though?
Then you're good. Then you're good.
Yeah, then
you're
you
not.
can
Well, you
live.
got to limp for the rest of your
You
life.
can't
for
shit
sure.
or pee ever again, but you're alive.
Or it's too easy to shit or pee. Which one or the other?
Just shit and pissing all day. That's
Like, I should have picked the death. I think death would have been better. All right, everybody, that is the episode. Thank you very much, Jason Ellis. Where can we find you?
At Wolfmate on Instagram, the Jason Ellis podcast and Hawk vs. Wolf podcast.
Saul Trujillo.
At Saul Comedy on Instagram, and then I got Dogs of Browntown here on the Comedy Store Studios.
Katie on the ones and twos. Shout out to you. Thank you very much. Thank you to Comedy Store Studios. See you guys next week.